Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Couples Couch. This is
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get right into this week's topic. It's gonna be juicy. This week's topic is marriage advice. We have the top 20 tips. Do they actually work?
Or not?
We shall see. Let's jump right into tip number one. Tip number one. Always answer your phone when your husband or wife calls.
If convenient.
Like, if I'm on 35, which is our highway here, our freeway here, and you're calling, I think you will be okay with me not answering the phone if I can't reach it while I'm on the highway.
Right. I think that's saying that don't decline or ghost calls.
Don't
when
ghost
you
your
have
husband
the
or
time
wife.
to talk. Yeah, like if I'm at work, I'm at work. You're
right.
Work, you know.
You better answer my call. I don't care if you're on a Teams meeting.
You'll be surprised. There are people out there.
I don't care if you're hosting a training. You better answer this call.
I'm telling you. And
I just want to see how you're doing today.
I'm telling you. There are people that expect you to call or answer no matter what.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's totally insane.
Clinically.
Let's move on to tip number 2. Make time together a priority.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I mean, if you can do it, if the time allows, I mean, I guess you have to make it a priority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the time allows. I mean.
It better.
Yeah, you have to make time.
Has to.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose that.
And I'm not I'm not just talking like sexually or whatever, but like you got to make time because these little people, they will drive you crazy.
These little people being the kids.
And,
yes.
Yeah. And you got to, have a teammate and y'all need time away to practice and bond. And
not only that, but I also feel like you just need adult conversation sometimes. Right. You don't always need I need a snack, I want a juice, can you open my Capri Sun? Like, you need to have the reason why y'all are together. Like, have open adult communication. Why you giving me that face for? You know what I'm saying. You know?
Gotcha.
Let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3. Surround yourself with friends who will strengthen your marriage.
Disagree.
I disagree too. I
disagree.
I don't feel like I need a group of friends or a circle of friends. Like, I don't vibe like that. Like, I am very much so a loner.
Yeah.
And I can do my own thing. I'm not saying I won't hang or we won't hang as a unit with other people, but we don't need that to have a successful marriage.
Yeah, my friends ain't got nothing to do with my marriage.
At all.
Because if it's my marriage or my friends, like, my marriage is always good. Because they always go play behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how I feel.
There's no disrespect to any of my friends, but there's no comparison between the relationship I have with you and my friends.
Right. And your friends are not going to influence your decision.
Absolutely not.
One way or other. Because I see that this tip says surround yourself with friends who will strengthen your marriage. So if you're not easily influenced, then this really doesn't apply. And I feel like that's what this is for. Yeah. Right?
Maybe for younger.
Yeah, maybe the younger couples.
There you go.
But, when you got some time in the game and you do your own thing, you be like...
You old.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
I'm 40 years old. I don't want to go to no club. I don't watch the game. I got a TV at home. Exactly. I got all the channels.
Exactly.
Y'all can one or two of y'all can come over here.
Yeah. So,
no groups, no Super Bowl parties. I don't do house parties. Nah.
Yeah. So, nah. Let's move on to the next tip. Next tip. In every argument, remember that there won't be a winner and a loser. Not the way we argue.
Argument they talking about. Definitely be
you gonna hear my
a winner and a loser, and every so often there might be 2 losers.
You gonna hear my point, and you gonna receive my point in your spirit.
That's what I never understand. Those people I just want my perspective heard. I want my perspective to be the going forward perspective for all in this area.
Here. We definitely have a problem with trying to be right because it's like, even though you might have a point, I want you to hear what I'm trying to say. Though.
Yeah,
go with me on this.
Yeah, but we compromise. Like, you got to know when you got a good argument.
Right. How do you say pick your battles,
There
choose your battles is what you always tell me. And I'd be like, yeah, but every time is a battle for me. But yes.
Right. But a real tactician knows you can lose some battles and still win the war.
I'm moving on to the next tip.
Right.
I chose my battle. Next tip. Remember that marriage isn't 50-50. Divorce is 50-50. What do you think about that?
No, it ain't.
You're getting half of mine.
Yeah. Divorce is yours and mine.
Divorce is a battle I'm about to choose.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. No, but I guess their point is you give your all. 100%.
50-50.
100%, not 50%. You give all of you in a marriage.
Yeah.
On most days. What do you think?
It's a balance. Like, when you're down, I gotta be up. Okay. When you're up, I gotta be down. So we always at 100%.
Okay.
But it might be 60-40, 40-60, 50.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it changes.
Next tip. You gotta get relaxed.
Yeah. Come
Next
on.
tip. Give your best to each other, not your leftovers, after you've given your best to everyone else.
You know, I think that's what that means. Like, don't go running in the streets when you have free time.
Oh, spend quality time with your family. Give your all to your family, not to the streets.
Right, because I've known people that say your free time is Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Run to the club or to the bar right after work on Friday for happy hour.
Right.
Maybe go home, have some dinner, go out Friday night.
Okay.
Sleep late Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe do something with the family for a little bit. Then you know what I mean?
Being selfish.
Yeah.
Fulfilling their wants.
I think that's what they're talking about. Don't do that. Like,
okay, I got you.
I don't even know nothing about that, so.
Yeah, we live for this whole, we're a whole unit here on an all the time basis. Really, right. We really are. So, okay, I get that. Let's move on to the next tip. Next tip. Realize that a strong marriage rarely has two strong people at the same time. I think you touched on that earlier when you said sometimes it's like 60-40 because you got to kind of be there for the person when they're not their 100% themselves, I guess. Is the right way I'm saying that? Yeah?
I mean, your perspective is your perspective. Realize that a strong only has two strong people at the same time. I'm taking it as like strong-willed people.
Oh,
like,
okay. See
we
how
can't both be bullheaded about decisions or decisions that impact us or the family. We can't both be bullheaded to no resolve.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Like, somebody's gonna have to
give.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that, but I can also see my point too.
Okay.
Two strong people.
Gotta give.
Two strong people at the same time. I ain't giving. Let's move on to the next tip.
But I'm right.
Next tip. Learn from other people, but don't feel the need to compare your life or your marriage to anyone else's. Unless
you come out on top and then do that shit.
Hey, then we win it. Just kidding. That is awful. But
yeah.
But I see their point. Yes, you don't want to be like John and Mary. It's just like trash as, relationship.
It's that kind of party tonight.
But you don't want to be like trying to pull anybody else down so you could look like you're on top.
No, you would never say anything in front of anyone else. The way that I'm taking this is... So I've held it in. Here we go. Learn from other people, but don't feel the need to compare yourself. So for me, learning from other people is watching for mistakes. I don't, like, when people give me advice, rarely do I take it full-heartedly because I've given the advice.
Yes.
And very rarely do I live by the advice that I give. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to tell, you need to save your money and build up your savings. Like, that's easy advice to give. Am I doing that in my own life?
No.
What used to? No.
Yes. Yes,
right.
Yes, I do for you. But yes,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, you can learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes.
But I'm talking about you behind your back. Like, I'm not comparing. Maybe they're talking about compare as in, you know, they got this or they're doing this or they're at this point, so you don't want to hold yourself to them. But yeah, I'm talking.
I'm moving on to the next tip. That's what I'm doing.
Don't tell me nothing.
Next tip. Don't put your marriage on hold while raising your kids, or else you'll end up with an empty nest or an empty marriage. So
go ahead.
I was just gonna, because I have to create a story in my head for me to understand where they're going with this. So the story I easily created in my head was,
this is gonna be fun. I love the stories you create.
Is when the kids are now grown and ready to leave the house, you have put so much energy on raising these kids and have neglected your spouse that now you're now left in this house with your spouse, who now has become your roommate because you have not given your marriage the time or the attention it needed all those years.
Right.
Did I create a good story?
That was a good story. I got some holes in your story.
Okay, what is it?
Story that you told. How do you get to that point? Because I'm not gonna have somebody living in my house
whole time.
And we grow apart. There are certain things that must happen regularly.
Yes. Like love, conversation, communication.
Keep going.
Sex.
Oh, stop. No, but I'm saying for me,
yes,
sex is one of those things that need to happen. But I understand that you also, to get your full person, you need those other things. Mm-hmm. So I have to do, and I know you don't like when I break it down this simple, but I have to do those other things.
Yes.
For you. Yes. To make sure that in return you're full enough to fill my cup.
Oh, okay. Come on now. Preach, somebody.
OJ or apple juice. It don't matter. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So you got to give to get what you want.
Facts.
And people don't like to look at, well, you should just do it for that is the most ridiculous.
No. I mean,
nonsense I've ever heard of. Whoever does anything.
You'll do it more so when you're fulfilled.
Yeah.
In your areas.
Right.
Right. I get it. I mean, that's people. That's how people work. That's tip number 10. Never keep secrets from each other. Mm-hmm. I agree to that. I always keep it 100. There's nothing going on in my life that Patrick does not know about.
Right, and ditto.
It better not be. Next tip. Never lie to each other.
Okay.
I agree again, because like I said before, transparency is key. But Patrick is famous for telling white lies. That don't even make sense. Like, you don't even have to lie. That's not. I can't even say that. He is known for small lies.
You put me in predicaments where I have to.
I can see how you try to
Kamar get like 3-4 wigs in the mail a week and put them all on and want good feedback on all of them.
Hey, I want good feedback when it comes to my hair reviews from you.
No, but here's why I have to lie. Because if I just think it could have been done better, or I don't like a particular wig, I can't just say, no, I'm not really feeling that one. Well, why not? Is it the color?
I need
you don't like the curl?
The texture?
You don't like this? You don't like... I didn't look... I just looked at it. I didn't like it. That's as far as I go. But I have to, like, justify...
Elaborate.
I don't want to.
Why.
So,
we need answers.
There you go. And now you know why I tell white lies. I love it.
Yes. So Patrick is famous for these white lies that make absolutely no sense. And you'd be like, that was not even worth...
It makes sense to me.
An extra sin on your life to lie.
Oh, now we got sins.
Let's move on to the next tip. Next tip. When your husband or wife breaks your trust, give them your forgiveness instantly. I don't know who wrote this tip,
somebody's
but that's
fool,
a whole ass lie.
I need some ramen.
Because I'm going to have to marinate on this. I am not about to get my feelings hurt, my trust broken by you, and I'm supposed to be like, no.
Yeah.
All is well. Yeah.
Like
we're good.
The other couple weeks ago when you made curry chicken and you didn't put no potatoes
Was
in it.
Was the trust broken in that?
Broke my
because it
trust.
didn't have potatoes?
Yes, and I'm just supposed to instantly be like, all right, it's cool. No, I don't want to eat this, and don't come back until you do it right. She came back last night and did it right, and we're back on good terms. But for 3 weeks, you had broke that trust.
Not adding potatoes in the chicken, with the chicken. Yeah, that ain't gonna work for me. So this tip is a no-go for me. No. Let's move on to the next tip. Next tip, be patient with each other. I'm losing my voice.
Very patient. I know that you had to learn a lot of patience.
Yes. I think this is a legit tip. Yep. You do have to go at your spouse's speed with things.
Yeah, and I think understanding should be at the end of that.
Be patient.
Patient and understanding.
Yeah, do, because you can't come in here trying to roll at your speed. You know, you got to understand that you're dealing with someone else here. You got to take their feelings and everything else into account.
Right, and I think that's hard for me because I had to learn that you do things that don't make no sense, and I had to be patient and then be understanding that that's the way that you work.
I do things that make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're just gonna go with that.
Next tip.
I'm moving on to the next tip. Next tip. Model the kind of marriage that will make your sons want to grow up to be good husbands and your daughters want to be good wives. That's a legit tip. Because you want to be in here treating your spouse the way you would want your children to treat their spouse and vice versa.
In front of the kids.
Yeah, don't act up. You can act up behind, closed doors. Once the doors closed, you'd be like, what was that you said when the kids was... I'm just trying to understand what you was trying to say. You could give that energy. When the kids are asleep, you keep it...
See how she switched? Y'all see that?
Did y'all see that?
She does that in real life.
That's not true. That was an act, Next tip. Be your spouse's biggest encourager, not his or her biggest critic. Another legit tip.
Yeah. For my wife, I'm one of them college male cheerleaders.
Get you a hype man.
I'm holding up with one arm. She moving. You gotta be your spouse's biggest fan.
Yeah, you really do, because they need that. They have enough to fight the world with outside. You know, they don't need to come inside and be like, "What you look like?"
Yeah,
you don't need that negative energy in the marriage. Like, leave that out there when he or she comes home or you are home. Like, encourage them, lift them up.
Or when they're driving, like, you shouldn't criticize their driving, because you could have drove too. You got a license and you're old enough to drive, so you could have drove if you didn't feel comfortable with the way that the other person might be driving.
You had something you had to get off your spirit?
I'm just saying that we were giving examples, and that example just hit me.
Yo, I'm done with you. I'm moving on to the next tip. I'm not doing it with you. Next tip. Never talk badly about your spouse to other people or vent online about them.
That's the most ridiculous stuff.
Another legit
This is how I know people don't understand what marriage is. Once you get married, y'all become one.
Yes.
If you talk about your spouse, you are talking about yourself.
Come on, somebody.
Like, why don't people get there?
I don't know. You know what's even crazier? You know what's crazier? When you get on Facebook or Instagram and you see a married couple or even just a long-term relationship couple, whatever, killing each other, dragging each other for your Facebook friends and your IG friends to see, just for you to make up with them 48 hours later. So why do this to yourself?
I don't understand it.
Why? It makes no sense to me why people go online and air their dirty laundry for everyone to see.
Right. Do it in front of their face. That's what you mean. Like, if you're talking bad about somebody, I'm not agreeing with it or saying to do it.
Right.
But if you're going to say these words or these angry words to somebody, if I'm mad at you and want to yell at you, am I going to go in the backyard and scream where nobody can hear? That makes no sense. Right. The words I want to hurt are to you.
But if you do want to put it on Facebook, you can drop me in the comments. Yeah.
Like I said, what was the number 2 or 3? I will compare. I will make fun of.
I will be.
Trust.
I will be scrolling through to see what all y'all got going on, because it is very entertaining.
Trust.
But you'll never live a day to see nothing that Patrick does to annoy me on social media. Never. Never.
If you do see it, that means there's really an annoyance.
Yeah, that's more of a joke.
Yeah, we just play.
Yeah, so
because we fight, but y'all won't see it.
Never. You'll never get a taste of it. Let's move on to the next tip. Next tip: always wear your wedding ring. So this one probably hits home for this one over here, because he never wears his wedding ring. Like, if Patrick is here in this house, that wedding ring is set aside. If Patrick is running up to the Walmart to grab whatever, or running up to Home Depot to grab whatever, he's not wearing that wedding ring. 9 times out of 10, you will not see Patrick in his wedding ring unless he is A, at work, or B, going out to like a fancy place. Other than that,
what's fancy place?
Like a date night or a restaurant or like an outing or something nice.
So I don't ever wear my ring.
Because we don't go nowhere.
But we cool. Like, we do.
It doesn't matter.
We go places.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just kidding. But no,
once or twice a year.
You do wear your wedding ring when it matters. Like, to me, if you're just running up the street to a Walmart or to 7-Eleven or Buc-ee's or so, like, I don't care. The gas station, that's not. I more care about what you're about to grab at the store to make sure that's accurate than he didn't have his ring on. Like, I'm not over the top like that. But then I realized he just don't be wearing jewelry. I mean, we buy him like an $800 watch. He don't even wear that. So it's like, what is the purpose of getting you anything if you don't really want to wear it?
Give me some more Nike shirts.
I bought him this for Christmas, and the only reason why that is on every episode is because he never takes it off. Like, he lives in that. I don't know why. But maybe something with the hands and the wrists, you don't like it.
Well, yeah. Well, they move to, I can feel it. That's what it is. Like watches, when I move, I feel it, and I don't like to feel it.
Yeah.
So, but with this, I forget it's there. All so much so that, like, when I go to take my shirt off,
you almost rip it off.
Yeah.
Tip number 19. When you have to choose between saying nothing or saying something mean to your spouse, say nothing every time. You don't want to drag them where they feel like their self-esteem is shot out in water. But you might have to pull them a little bit. Not a whole drag, but you could pull them a little.
I mean,
get you back down to earth. Like, let me iron you out a little bit.
I don't know where
I'm good for ironing out.
I don't know where y'all grow up or how y'all grow up. But all my best friends, like, we give it to each other a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
you have to.
And you being my best friend,
you gotta
even though you're my
sometimes.
wife, like, it's fun to jack. Yeah. Like, say we had to do this take like 3 times because she couldn't get the words out. Like, that's fun, right?
That's it. I'm moving on to tip number 20.
Why do you always move on?
Because I don't want to hear it.
I want to stay right there.
I'm moving on to the last tip. Come on. Last tip. Tip number 20. Never consider divorce as an option.
Or separation.
I mean, I beg to differ. from you. But if you're in a toxic relationship or marriage...
We're not talking to those people.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, well then.
No,
never
go ahead with
divorce.
your talk. Go with your talk.
I was just gonna say, if you're in a toxic marriage, you know, like cheating, beating, and all that going on in there, like there's no trust, you're not safe, you know, like.
These are tips to make a marriage work. You don't want that relationship to work.
I went into a Tyler Perry movie.
No, that's why I said we're not talking those. Look, if you get cheated on, beat on, get out. Don't look for ways to make it work. Look for ways to get out.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
Real talk.
But I told you I create a story every time. So, and that's it for the top 20 marriage tips. Some were legit, some we agreed with.
We agreed with.
Yeah, some we agreed with. Some were just, no, I disagree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, do what works for you and your marriage. Like, you don't have to go by what's online or what you researched or what your friends tell you.
Do what makes y'all happy.
Big mama and them say, you know?
Here she go with another story.
Creating a story. So that's it for the top 20 tips. They were really interesting. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on these tips. Do you think they actually work or not? Like, hit us up. We love hearing from you guys. Also, be sure to click the like and the subscribe button to support our channel. You guys, if you have a topic that you would like for us to talk about in next week's episode, drop that in the comment section as well. We take all of those into account when we're putting our next show together. So thank you for joining us here at Behind the Scenes with Couples Couch. We will see you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Bye, you guys.